Is everybody okay? Everybody get the notes now, right? So and something you can read it when you're home later. Since we have 2 weeks after that, we have 2 weeks break, right? Okay. Now let's look at the page again. This time we have to come to the subject on the category of conditioning. Okay. In this category of conditioning, I think in Skandila, believing to be the master, the teachers of the Vasubandhu and Sanghabhadra. So list out this the conditioning, so-called samskara, okay, or maybe conditioning here is translated as conditioning. Actually, you can translate formation, okay. So the category of formations. So how many formations are there? So let's look at the first. We understand according to the Sarvastivada school, but of course in the Pali school, when you say the formation, and then you will be understand as the formation is almost like being understood as a list of the mind association, or sometimes we translate as the mind concomitant. 就是 in Chinese it's called 心所, okay. So but that's a very unique, one of the unique thing of the Sarvastivada. It's Sarvastivada, when you say the formation, you have to understand the formation are understood in two formation, okay. That's why we look at the page 81, paragraph 4, right? And in page 81, paragraph 4, the formation are two, right? So two kinds of formation. Formation conjoined, in other words, mean with the mind or with the thought, and formation disconjoined from the thought, okay? So here today we've spent a little time to look at the formation with the thought, okay? You know the word actually formations. It's also in general concept when we say, here they translate conditioning, it depends on which word you like to use, okay? So we understand that when we say the condition, actually, the formation or conditioning, so the formation, 行运 in Chinese, okay? The formation actually, when you relate to when you want to, according to this earlier Buddhist text, the formation has much to do. I would say actually when you say about the karma, so that all it's understood in the category or in the concept of the formation. Okay. So that's in other words mean when you say karma, so the whole topic of the karma according to the Abhidharma, or actually not only Abhidharma, even in early Buddhism, so that is information. Okay. No any question at the moment, okay? Right. Has anyone count already? How many formation here listed?
You said 41, I haven't counted.
Oh, wow. Somebody pick up the language very quick, okay.
It's written right on the title.
Actually, yes, 41, okay, yeah. It's 41. But please to understand, when you look at this paragraph 4.1, you do see that, the last one called the receptivities, shanti, learn, okay? Right? When you look at the paragraph 4.1.
4.1,
Yeah, right. Paragraph 4.1. Yeah, the last one is the receptivities. Right? It translates receptivities or the patience or the shanti. Then etc. Actually, it should be more than that, okay? But here only list, to be exact, it here only just lists out the 41. And study this is a very big subject. In the earlier first 20 to 30 is fine, but the next one about the shanti, about the knowledge, about the what you call the clinging, and about the yokes, okay, the yoga. So that you have to know how, and even about the anushaya means let me say anushaya translate as proclivities. So then you had to learn how many are they, how they are belong. But we are going to talk that later. Don't worry about this. But at least we just give you some idea. Now let's look at the list now. Okay, so you can actually look at the. Before we look at the list, I guess it's very important. Look at the notes. Can you see the notes? I gave it to you. 41 conjoint conditionings. Okay. Actually, I like to translate that as a formation. Okay. So, but forgive me to use the word formation. Okay. Because I think the condition is sometimes confused with the pattaya, pattaya. Yeah. So maybe we say 41 conjoint formation. Okay. There are 41 conjoint formations. The 4.1, I don't have to read it out because we're going to do that. The 4. Oh, sorry, I typed it wrong. 4.5.4, I think it's 4.5.43. It couldn't be. It might be 4543. Let me see. 454. We don't have 4543. Anyway, I did write page number. Page 245. It could be 245 too. What happened with my typing? Is that 245? No. Oh, because I was looking for the Chinese. Okay, 245, let me see. 2.4, that's okay, that means 4.5.43, that's true. 4.5.43, on which page?
Page 82.
Four point 5.43， 还有这边 4.5.43 it's page 108. Okay, sorry. Do you see that page 108? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, if you don't see that, you can just read this one also. But I just want to say that when I write 4.5.43 mean actually is the paragraph 4.5. Firstly, we must understand why they are called these dot concomitant Jaitasikas. Okay, they are called these Jaitas or Jaitasika because they exist in independent. If you don't have you don't read the text, you can read my notes. I just want to show you it's on the page 180. 180. So from the notes say that's notes from the page 1, on 41 conjoint formations. So on the paragraph 4.5.43, that definition is actually completely the same as in the Pali. Okay, mean they exist in independent on the mind, just as the mind. Okay, just as the mind. I think it's not. Sorry, I need to rephrase. It's not necessarily have to be same as Pali, but anyway. So on the mind, just as mind indicate that which exists in independence on the I, all these thought concomitant receive the name of conjoint conditions. Okay. So we must also understand sometimes when we say there's a Jaitasika, I mean it looks like here, trying to say that if they are named as a Jaitasika or called thought concomitant because they are dependent on the mind. Okay, they're dependent on the mind. So just as when you say this is mind, it doesn't mean that all are like that, but it's just like just like when you say, just like you say this is mind, adimi, adimi. So it indicates that when exists in the independent on the I means when you say that is my, when you say something is my, it means actually there's something has to be exist in dependence on the I, right? Get it now? Yeah, I think that's not difficult to know. So all these kind of the Jaidashika or the thought concomitants receive the name of conjoined conditions. Okay, so that's why they are conjoined condition because that's why because they are like that. So they have the name called conjoined conditioning. Okay. Now, because they are 相应, because they are conjoined conditioning, I think that's what I want to first say. And then look at the 1.2 again, right? The paragraph, no, it shouldn't be 1.2. Why it is like this?
Mm. 4.12, is that it?
It should be 4.12, it could be.
4.5. It's video.
Okay, it's all right. Let's look at this 4.2 first. On page 81, okay, that's how we're going first. All right. So we have to also understand these are said to be conjoined. So they are called conjoined, 他们叫做相应, because of their being on a par with thought, on a par with the mind, basically with mind or with thought, depending on what the sin, okay, the word thought here, the sin, in 5 respects. Remember what are these 5? First, they have the same basis, they have the same object, they have the same modes of activities, and they are the simultaneously exist basically or working, and because of each of them has only one substance. Okay. In other words, mean the least we are going to learn the 41 kind of thing. Okay, the least we are going to learn the 41. For the earlier study, just learned that there's a 41 kind of list. In this 41 list, we must know that they must have the same basis. Okay, they have the same basis to exist. Okay, they have the same basis, and then they must have the same object. Okay, they have the same basis to what? I mean, basically, why they call it conjoined? Remember? Why? Why they are conjoined?
It's dependent on mind.
Yeah, good. Associate to the mind. Okay, now you get it now. So because associate to the mind, so then this mind and the so-called this formation, okay, or you could say the Jaita. So they actually have the same basis and they have the same object. You know what is the difference between the basis and the object, right? Let's say they have the same basis. So the mind and the formation will have they have conjoined, okay? You say that they are conjoined because the mind, in other words, mean the mind and the formation or the Jaitas, okay, the Jaitas, the mind and the Jaitas have the same basis. For example, the I is a basis, right? And you cannot say at that time the mind have the I as a basis, but then the mind concomitant does not have that. That's the same basis. They have the same basis. Okay, they exist together. Okay, so they have the same basis. Say, for example, the eyes. They have the same object. For example, the form, right? When you see the form, and they have the same mode of activities. For example, when the eye see the object, so that had to be see the object as a clear or not clear. You know, that's a kind of mode of activities. So they will be together, okay? And they are simultaneously. You cannot say the eyes, the mind and the mind associate or the mind concomitant, so they are, one go faster and another follow after. No, they are simultaneously, they exist together, okay? And then they have one substance. Wow, this is more difficult. Basically, one substance is mostly, when you think something, there's a substance, an event, something there. They always have, that's one substance. Okay. Anyway, So in other words, you have to understand like normally my simile is like this, like a finger, like a hands and finger. So when you say, now we start to learn these 5 fingers now. We are going to learn 41 fingers, okay? So say that we have 41 fingers and some fingers are, don't say fingers, some may be the fingers, but they might be hide inside like a claw, right? When you only when you get angry, they appear, but they still belong to one part of your hands, right? Like that, okay? So when you say the hand, so it's the mind, right? But when you say it's the mind concomitant or formation, then you refer to the fingers. But you have to understand this, they are the conjoined with the mind. The mind concomitant conjoined with the mind. In other words, mean the fingers are conjoined with the hands. Okay? Understand? All right. Hello? Sure? Okay. Then of course in definition mean because they have 5. Okay. Respect in terms of 5 respect. Okay. In other words, mean if you say a hand, well, in language when you say a hand grabs a bag, right? Take a bag. The hands hold a paper. Actually, this is how the normal language is about. But to be exact, you refer to 5 fingers are holding a paper. Okay.
With the hand, conjoined with the hand.
Yeah, conjoined with the hands. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Let's make sure.
Conjoined with the hands. Yeah. Okay, you get it now. Okay. But then maybe sometime you will ask and say, but why the paper cannot hold it well? Because you are only using 2 fingers. Okay. But the rest of finger is not there. Okay. Right. This is the same way. A bit more like a Pali system too. Then later you have to learn, what kind of time, how many mind concomitant exists, how many mind concomitant does not exist also. But anyway, now we just learn a very simple, to them is very simple, okay? Very, very basic factors there, okay? Okay. All right, besides this, actually, besides this, let's look at my notes here, the paragraph 3, the notes I gave it to you. So although this is supposed to be really later, but I think it's important to learn it now. That's the most of activities of the thought concomitant are subtle. I want to try to find whether in the text where is it. I'm sure I can find it, but just give me, because I typed the wrong word, I guess. I don't know why it's 12 there. It's okay. Later I will find it for you. But why don't we just read it first? Can you have the notes there? Can you see the notes? Okay. It said that the most of the activities of the thought concomitant. Remember what is the most of activities? The akara. Remember? I said they have 5 aspects of it. The number 3 aspect, remember that?
Of all 5 respects.
Yeah. The paragraph 4.2. Everybody get confused now. Okay, let's back here this again. When you talk about the hands, the fingers, and conjoined with the mind or maybe with the hand, right? So there are 5 aspects to understand that, right? They must have the same basis, right? They must have had the same object. They will have the same active mode of activity. And anyone?
Simultaneous.
They are simultaneously exist. And last one. Yeah, that we are going to learn that later. What does that mean? Okay. So it's how to say, only one substance. Okay. So in other words, mean each of them has only one substance. Okay. All right. So I think this paragraph just want to say something. He say, the motor activities of thought concomitant are very subtle. Okay, the activities there is very subtle. In other words, you can say, it is difficult enough to analyze each individual series of a single thought concomitant. How much more so when they coexist in a moment? Understand? Those of fine intelligence, that means those people who are 利根, okay, in English it's called 利根. Those of fine intelligence, Madhimat, okay, who have, on the basis of the Buddha's teachings, understood the differences in their nature by observing the differences in the effect. Expound them to be students. I've expound them. That means expound that those the nature, basically the effect to the students without falsification. Okay, there are, however, some of lesser intelligence who do not have the opportunity of receiving personal instruction from those masters who explain the Buddha's word without falsification. Okay? As a result, they are deluded as regards the nature of the thought concomitant and deny their real existence, asserting that there exists only three or that they do not exist at all. That's actually here. I put this paragraph because I forgot why in below, not here. I wanted to say that, but certainly this is regard to the wisdom part. Okay, I will check that later. So I want to say that there are people, of course, he want to defend this system also according to Skandila in this text, that there are people might not believe in so-called the mind concomitant or the thought concomitant. Okay. If they believe it, they only believe in only three types. What are these three? Tan Chen Zhi. It means the clinging, the hatred and delusion one. If they believe it, that they will believe only the three types. They will.
Talking about the Mahayana people here? Are they referring to them specifically?
No.
Just in general?
Yeah, in general. That's basically more like a sutra thala. They only believe in sutra. They think actually the sutra do not talk the mind concomitant. Okay, so I think they more refer to this that person. I don't think that time they really have a Mahayana idea to them, So that's they say that. But however, if the people who are sharp, who are the fine intelligent people, they can understand that. It is really even very hard in a single moment to understand one kind of the mind concomitant, right? That would be harder even to know there are so many kinds of mind concomitant. Hello? I think you're fall asleep, okay? Let's look, I know,
Very concentrated.
But do you
It's not a sloth torpor.
but
No, deep thinking, right?
Sloth torpor samadhi.
my question is, do you know what it is? What does it refer to? What does it mean?
Which one? Which part are you referring to? The fine intelligence or the deluded regard?
It's sort of like the lesser intelligence people.
Unfortunately, the time when you choose to be learn Abhidharma, you have to be intelligent people. Okay. Remember.
More intelligent as we go, right?
Yeah. Yes. True. No, this is why in the Abhidharma text said that already. Abhidharma is called the superior teachings. Of course, it's for the intelligent people to study, right? Yeah. This is why it's challenging, but you will find once you learn this, when you learn the sutra again, it won't be challenging for you. You become easy. Of course, it might be something you don't know why they say so, but at least you have the idea. There might be somewhere say a different way, whatever. So you will not speak. It's very, very important actually to study this way. So you know how to discern. Basically, you started to learn how to analyze the teachings in the right way. Okay, that's more important. in the right way. So now, but then when you read this, you will find it. They said that already. You know, the thing very clear. Whatever your doubt in your head, it maybe answer is over here already. Okay. Now let me just translate this. Give me one example. Say on the page 1, what is the first word? It's a volation, right? The list of it. The number 1 is a volation. In Chinese called shi, right? And what is the second one?
Contact.
The contact. Okay. Okay. Just take these two. You don't have to read the list. Just you know there's number 1, the volation. The number 2 is a contact or tangible. Okay. Now he want to say that you know, even it's really hard for normal people when you practice, for example, that you observe that every moment when you see something, you hear anything, you feel something, your mind thinking something, there is the volation. It's so hard to observe there's a volation there, right? So definitely it's harder to think that there are two things there, that the very moment you observe your eye seeing an object, so you are able to aware that there is the volation and as well as there is the contact. Is it harder? Understand?
Is that why they're on the first on the list?
No, we will talk that later. Okay. So understand this statement. The statement want to say the mode of activities, basically, even though there are people who disagree, okay, but he said because this is for a very called a 立根者, people who are sharp, okay. So, but it's understandable why these people don't get it. That's what he wanted to say basically. They don't get it because, or if they believe there's a called a mind concomitant, it's only if they only believe there are 3 types. That means the delusion, 贪嗔痴嘛, the 3 poisons, if they're only the 3 poison. Or actually they deny the existence of it, okay. But they said why they have such an approach according to Abhidharma, okay. According to Abhidharmika, they have this approach because it is very hard for even a person to observe when the mind arises, right? Basically means when your eyes see the eyes as a basis, right? They have the same basis, remember? Have the same basis, and then you have the same object as a form, like you see a form, eyes as a form, right? And then the activities is what? The mode of activities is mean at that time you will have 10 things or 20 things or 22 things actually. But anyway, you don't forget about that now. I just say, for example, you have these 2 at least. So that means when your eyes see the object, when you have the same basis, when you have the same form, but in right away, something exists. Not only your mind aware this, but actually not only your hand is there, but your fingers there. It means then you also have these 2. You have the contact and then you have the volation. Okay, but actually normally it's 22. But say you have the contact and then you have the volation and blah 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 blah. So he want to argue that it's because only for very top practitioner they could able to aware that. Okay.
So the minimum is 22.
Now to forget about this. Don't I said to forget it because you're going to learn that you have to learn all the lists first, and then you're going to learn whether that number is this or that number is this. The number, if you can aware 1 is enough for you to be enlightenment. Okay, don't worry.
Volition and contact. Okay,
So-
let's remember those 2.
If you really can meditate and you see your volation always there, that is very powerful, very, very powerful already. Okay, but according to this Abhidharma, it means that they have become the sharper. Okay, that's called the mode of activities. Okay, and also that means the eye, when they have same basics and objects and there's activities there, so the volation is there, everything is there, and also have this whatever. We said that already. The another one, that they are timeless, mean they simultaneously exist. Okay, and the next one is more complicated. They will have the same event. Okay. Now, do you have any question further? No. Okay.
So this is happening whether we're aware of it or not consciously. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. Okay. Now we look. Yes.
So volition, for example, is one mode, and then contact is another mode.
Mm.
Okay, so the list is
No, we don't say they're the mode. The mode activities just refer to there's activities going there. The mode is it? I don't think they. My understanding, the language here, it doesn't mean the mode.
It's the same
Is that a
mode of
combination?
activity.
The same mode of activities. Yeah.
It's the same object, same basis, simultaneous in one substance.
就是说
Same.
每一种出来的话，
I think it's English translated as a mode of activities. Well, in Chinese it's called 形象. It means there's
I don't understand either. I don't understand Chinese one. I don't understand. Yeah,
What about the French? Mode?
what does it mean exactly?
but that is
In
very
in the same way of activity?
yeah, maybe in the
Is
same
it
way
better?
activities.
Say it in
Yeah.
the same way of activity maybe?
That's maybe
Understand it that way? In the same way of activity?
okay. Let's say when you usually hear the 形, okay, activities, it doesn't have to mean something like going on, but it more refer to like volition have a kind of activities there, right? Volition activity is like I pay attention, right? And say I have a hatred. Hatred is also a kind of activity, kind of like. So that's what they call akara, Mr. Akara, because the mode of activity it's the mode of activity. So basically akara is like so let's say I pay attention, but my attention is not only just a paying attention, but I also with the hatred there. But hatred is also a kind of they have a such nature. Okay, so I think mode of activities refer to at that moment something going on because of the something there was different compound mixed together and makes that going on in that way. It's called the mode of activities. If say I try to think about like if you study physics, I think they should be a similar thing. I don't know because I forgot physics for a long time. I'm sure if some people who study physics very high, they might have idea like there's something process going on, but it's almost, I guess it's almost like when you talk about momentum. Okay, momentum need to be, anyone know physics? Momentum needs something like a force, gravity, right? Momentum needs speed, right? Yeah, these few things are kind of like different quality of the thing, but when you talk, there's a momentum there. Those things has to be there. So you could say that's called the mode of activities as a momentum.
So if you go back to the five fingers holding, that's the same activity that all the conjoined activities are coming together by holding the
Yeah,
paper.
that's called the most activities.
That's the mode of activity of holding something.
Okay, 5 fingers is mode of activities, 3 fingers also mode of activities, 2 fingers are mode of activity, maybe this finger is also mode of activities, but maybe the result is different, right? But still you call it as a mode of activities. Okay.
It'll make sense later.
Okay, right. Now we look at this, the nature of it. Basically, what are these? I think that's sometimes a little bit easier, sometimes not. Okay. All right. The disconjoined one, we're not going to talk now, so we will skip it at the moment. Yeah, because after this, we're going to talk the disconjoined one.
That disjoint is without thinking.
On the
without
paragraph
without
4.3.
mind, without thought, is that what?
No, dissociate with the mind.
Associated.
Yeah, but it's still formation. Okay.
Right.
That's a little bit strange concept to other school. Okay.
Right.
We're going to talk that later. It's okay. All right. Look at this page 82. Right. So 4.5. Okay. Let's look at the first few things. The list first. You can look at my notes also. Okay.
Volition.
The first one is ovulation, right? And the second one is the contact. And the third one is the predilation, okay? Or the desire, predilation. No, desire is not a good term sometimes. I think because desire, it shows something like bad thing always, you know,
This is good.
in Buddhism. So the third one is called predilation, okay? And the fourth one is called mental application. And the fifth one is called resolved, okay? And the sixth one is called mindfulness. The seventh one is concentration, samadhi. And the eighth one is understanding or wisdom, depending on how to translate. Now, number 9 and number 10, I'm not going to talk now. So we just remember there's 8 at the moment, okay? Now, why I say I'm not going to talk that, now look at another chart. I gave it to you, the 75 Dhammas here, okay? Look at 75 Dhammas here. So when you look at another notes I gave, the 75 Dhamma, now can you go to the page B? A, B, C, I use B, okay? Can you look at the page B? In the, 75 Dhammas is the most popular. Any question? Hello? Any question?
The page, I think this state is
Hmm?
not the right page.
No, another paper. Another paper. I have 2 notes, right? Today I handed
The
2 notes.
back, it's the back page.
The second one got page B, right?
Mahabhumika.
This one, but you have to open it.
It's in the back.
Okay, the page B. Okay, the page B, right? And then look at this. Because this 75 Dhamma, it's the most popular way when you especially study from a Chinese tradition. So you always talk, the Sarasvativada talk about 75 Dhamma. Okay, we are going to talk that in the future more. But at least now I want to ask you to do a little comparative. Comparative, when you look at it, like there's a Mahabhumika, it means the great earth. Okay, 大地法, okay, it means the great earth, but Mahabhumika. So how many are they? Mahabhumika. 10 are they? Okay, look at which one is not there.
Volition.
No, volition we talked already. That's the first one.
Vedana.
No, I mean there are 10, but according to Skandila, how many is not listed there? Because I just read 8 on it. There should be 2 out. 2 is not in the list. Which are the 2?
Veda is one.
Yeah, the first one, and then and the second one. That's good. Now, why the first one and second one is not listed there?
Is that Sanja Prashna too? No?
Some, yeah,
That's similar?
perception.
It's not formation.
Huh? Why the first one and the second one is not listed here?
Is there part of the other skandhas?
Yeah, that's very simple. It's because it belongs to part of the other skandhas, other aggregates. Hello? If you don't answer,
I get it.
get it now?
No.
You don't get it. Good. If you say you don't get it, then otherwise I would go on. You see, hello. You see, when you in this Skandila scheme, right? What is we talk about the aggregates of the form, material, right? Am I right? And the second one, we talk about the feelings, aggregates. And then the third, we talk the perception, aggregates. So in the fourth, we are going to say about formation now. And in formation, there are 41, at least more than that, but etc. 41 types, etc. Right? Etc. Okay. But here it lists 41 to etc. So, but can he in the formation again put these 2 there?
No.
So the answer is very simple, it's no. Because the scheme of this is that's a material, that's a feeling, that's a perception, and that's formation, and the formation should not include these two. Okay. All right. So this actually explain even in Mahavibhasa also. When you say when you understand the formation in terms of the 5 aggregates, so you have to exclude the feelings and the perception from the perception, from the formation. Okay. Hello? And what about the next one? The next one, what is that? Okay, test again. Mind, okay. Okay, the mind, right? How many are they? Okay, no answer. Okay, fine.
Just one.
One.
What do you mean? What do you want this come? Come more than
Well, it depends how to say. Normally you can say mind, there's only one, but you also can say there are 12, okay? But anyway, I think it's 12, yeah. And, but anyway, forget about that. But also, according to this Yogacara school, the Wei Shi, there are 8, right? Okay? So, but in this school, so first understand as one, but then you can also talk in the one, but sometimes you can, just like feelings, you have to say there are 3 feelings, but you can talk there's 100 feelings again. You know what I'm saying? Okay? All right. Now, in other words, that's the reason why Skandila didn't put these 2 as a formation. Okay? But now if you ask me, according to Buddhist teachings, for the 5 aggregates, this is one. This is material, right?
Material.
Rupa. And this is mental, okay? Right? Am I right? Yeah. Hello? And in all this, there's some mental and the material. This is why we call, if you meditate, you have to able to discern that there is there's a separate, not separate, sorry. First, you know there's an independent, that might be a wrong language again. Yeah, an independent reality of the material, and then there's a mental, but they are they are working together, right? So that's remember when you practice Buddhism, you start, without this does not exist. Without this does not exist. In the Buddhism, you always say that, So okay, so but in these feelings and in the perception, and which one but of course the material, can material create karma according to Buddhism? Cannot. Okay. We know that according to Buddhism, the karma has to be here. Okay. Okay. We know it has to do with the mental, right? But this kind of karma, to be exact or to be more precise, is it created in the feelings? No? Or is it created in the perception? Or is it created in the formation? Yeah. Is it created in the mind? Then that's a good, because some people hesitate, because then that's why this is a good way for you to learn Buddhism, if you get to understand that. So certainly not, but then if you look at Yogacara school, does it create from the mind? Then you find the answer, yes and no, okay? I don't want to give an answer now. So according to Yogacara. But for sure, all schools agree the formation here is the one who created karma, okay? Okay, but then there's another question again. The question is, if the 75 list of the Dharma, actually the same as most of the Sarvastivada, later Sarvastivada, or actually we don't say later, like the middle period development of the Sarvastivada Abhidharma list, and then the feelings and perception are included in the formation, okay? So in other words, that they also think that this is actually should be included as a kind of karma too, okay? Okay, but then does the mind has to do with the karma? Hello? Does it? Why? How do you explain that? Why? Huh? Good, because they work again. They work again, okay? They have the same basis, they have the same objects, they have the same mode of activities, they are simultaneously exist, Okay, they are in one of the basically they are in one event. Okay, so that's true. So in other words, maybe in a very rough language, a big round language, you could say, the mind is the one create the karma, like the sutta say. Get it now? The sutta say that, right? So, because of your relation, so that's why, and then you push your mind to do the thing and so and so. But then to Abhidharma, beside that also, this in fact this aggregate, yes, how they work it is because these things are always work together with the mind, like the fingers. Okay. But to be more precise, what is really creating the karma is information. Understand that now? Have a better picture? Okay, we have a break at the moment because I need to... and then I'll see you in 10 minutes time. And think about that later. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. I will do that. Yeah, thank you. We have a break 10 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. You will use... Can we come back for the class now? Okay, good. Well, if you like it, you can read here, but if you like it, start to read the page on 82, okay? But only the difference here, when I find it's not necessarily at the moment, so I just leave it out. But anyway, the first one is called the Cetana, meaning the volition, okay? So basically, the volition is referred to, when you read it, shall we read it together? Like, volition is that which renders thought, right? Creativity for the next one, okay, on the page 1, and then we can do page 2 now. It is mental karma. So, okay. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is also to say that it move forward. So, because from the Sanskrit word, the thought, it move forth the mind. It is differentiated into 3 kinds: wholesome, unwholesome, and non-defined, or I don't know. Yeah, called non-defined, maybe best translation. Avyakruta. Okay, it means you cannot say it's wholesome and unwholesome, and sometimes it depends on the case as well. Okay, that's we're going to learn that more about what is meant by the non-defined. That is also one of the meaning. The other meaning is like Arahant. Whenever, like a Buddha and Arahant, whatever they do, you cannot say the thing is wholesome and unwholesome. But whatever they do is always non-defined, because they will not create karma. Okay, if you do the good thing, you still create karma. If you do the bad thing, then you create karma. But when it's non-defined, is also then it will not create karma. But it can be understood other way too. That is for Arahant and the Buddha. But then sometimes non-defined also understood as mean it's not yet sure which one it is. Like the eyes. There was some other schools say the eyes, the root of the eyes is non-defined, because actually most of our senses are non-defined. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, the body. But it's also become wholesome and unwholesome is the way how we look at our feelings, our form. It's the consciousness when it arises. After, when the formation starts, so it becomes defined. It become either wholesome or unwholesome, or sometimes it's non-defined. Okay. So we will have this more topic about that. But to remember, when you say the volition, that has to be understood. The volition is something like almost like it is because of volition arises. It's almost like the karmic activities is there, because that's just very clearly defined by the sutta. When there's a karma, is because why there's a karma is because it's motivated or pushed by the volition. Right, the Cetana, the volition. So that's understandable. So in other words, since every time, yes. Any question again?
I think undefined is no karma, right? But it also belongs to volition.
Yeah.
But volition has karma.
No, karma. Okay, that's a good question actually. Your question is mean because you thought karma mean good and bad. No, karma mean action.
Yeah.
It can be good action, bad action, and non-defined action.
Non-defined action also
Okay.
belongs to karma. Okay, got it.
All right. So that's why I mentioned. Of course, you cannot say the Buddha do not have the thing. It is depends on how you use the language. But we normally say Buddha would not create karma, right? That's a general language. But more in the precise language, mean the Buddha only create the non-defined karma. Okay.
Because he's a Tathagata. He's coming
Yeah.
along.
Okay. Understand that? Okay. So that's especially in Abhidharma concepts, the Buddha or everyone accept that. So the Buddha and Arahant just only have the non-defined karma. Okay. All right. So understand the volition have three types. Okay. And volition means what? It means there's intention every time. They should be. It's because of the arises of volition, the mind will push forward. Okay. All right. But you cannot say the Buddha does not see anything. Once he become a Buddha and no karma, no action. So eyes have no action, ears no action, everything no action. So he become vegetable. Okay. So
Not true.
tomato. Okay. So that's anyway. Abhidharma have a very thoughtful about that also. Now it's very important. The same thing when in the meditation also. So actually, it's whenever you observe everything, every time when your awareness there, accordingly that the relation has to be there. Okay. All right. But we're asking you to learn this. Don't tell me. I know it is there. But do you see? Yeah, I see. Actually, you didn't. You just know it is there. Okay. Just like people say, do you know there's earth element? Well, of course we have earth element. I know the hardness. There must be earth element. Yes, of course there's fire element. Do you see it? Yeah, there's hardness here. So then if once you learn more, you will know. You see why it's different by talking and really practice. And practice, you see, wow, they have this kind of earth, that kind of earth, and this, and there's so many things, right? And then you have a very deep understanding. So anyway, the same thing. Now the second which is also important, it's the contact, right? So we must understand what does it mean by contact, okay? All right. The contact is that which is born of the coming together of the faculty. Any question of that? No. Remember we talked about faculties, right? So it means the eyes and the object, and then eye consciousness arise. Those are called the faculties. Okay. So like a nose have the taste, the smell as an object, and then you have the smell consciousness, right? So in other words, mean the faculties refer to the eyes, right, and the object and the consciousness, and which enables thought to become to contact with the object. It has a characteristic of, actually this is interesting, it has a characteristic of enlivening the thought, the mind concomitant. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
In this scheme, contact is part of formations. But if you talk about dependent co-arising, it's separate because formation is the second link and the contact is somewhere down the line, right?
No.
The contact is not even part of the 12 links at all?
No, it is in the 12th link. Actually, even the dependent arising has many ways to understand it. So say that, get back to your question way. So when I say that, it may be easier to talk about skin, okay? Skin refer to, I have the body as an indriya, it means as a faculty. And then the tangible, my tangible is my hitting, okay? I'm using my palm to hit it. That's a tangible, right? So a beating itself, that's rupa, that's form, okay? There's a form, make it, so then there's a feeling here, tangible. So actually the moment when I hit it, I feel, say pain, okay? Say that the pain sensation comes. So what are these there? Why you know the pain? Because now we back to this subject, mean the indriya, the object, and then the consciousness, right? And also immediately this kind of three things comes together and you have the contact, right? And then that the contact also you have the feelings. So the feeling is a pain, right? But then if you put it narrow it down much more, small, I mean like even small scalar, and I observe this pain, that means I had a vitaka, that means I have a very rough way of understanding what they are, and I think, oh, suffer, say, okay? So then I have the feelings or displeasure feelings, right? But actually that comes in a moment, right?
It's all happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's, in other words, happening in the same time, it comes in a moment, in one moment, right?
Right, so after contact, then you have feeling, then you have formations. But it seems to me in that when there's contact first, and then you develop feeling, then formations. But here, contact is part of formations. And
Yeah.
41 then.
Contact is part of formation. In other words, for a person, when I aware these things, the immediate I can aware, okay, maybe I do it this way. Say that I reuse my pen now. I repeatedly hit it this way, okay? Imagine, if I'm doing meditation, say, my hand, a form, right? Object, something hardness, right? And say, then I aware this, because I could aware that maybe there's somebody, like the best music I have ever heard in my life. So I forget this hitting here, right? So that time, my three thing comes together is on the ear, it's not on my hands already. So let's say I've been able to avoid that. And maybe I was sitting on the needle. Actually, I forgot I'm sitting on the needle. I'm just observe this. So that's why we say three things in Sanibanda mean they comes together here, right? Okay, that's how I aware. That's how normal people feel. Pain, okay? But for a meditator, you're aware three things comes together. The moment when I hit it, I know the three things comes together. You don't have a question about that, right? Okay, now go further. So that's maybe for a beginner, but then if you observe that, you'll find actually they do have the contact. That's understanding of the contact. There's a kind of like struck, right? Then you do understand there's a struck. But then you also, if you observe more closely, it's not only struck. The moment when this hit, it's also have the, what do I call, like the feelings there. So yeah, this is formation, of course. Because this thing is formation. That all is a formation already. Okay? It just only depends how much you can aware what are they. That's why that's back to the previous sentence that some deny this thing as a formation, as like a mind concomitant. Actually, it's a mind concomitant, because if you are sharper, you could aware they are all appear the moment like this together. The volition should be there also. Why the volition should be there? Maybe if the volition is not here, I would not aware here. I would aware there already. I would go in on hearing. I'm not going to keep on observing. Oh pain. No, you don't. It's a volition. Still push you good on my head. That's what it means. Okay.
But the formation in the dependent co-arising is a different type of formation.
Oh, you mean the formation? I think I know what you mean. Now, I think your answer is like the first independent arising, the first formation, right? The first one means the ignorance. Because of ignorance, the formation arises, right? Well, that refer to, the formation here refer to, remember the formation refer to either you are doing the meritorious deeds or non-meritorious deeds, and also what we call these unmovable deeds, right? Remember that? So when that been defined, that it more refer to the past thing, okay? But it also can be understood because it's also the formation being understood as when there's there's eye contact. When there's a form, then eye consciousness arises. So that formation, it can refer to that formation in what we just mentioned also.
Right. So there are two different meanings. But they're the same word.
Yeah, yes, yeah, they're same words, yeah, okay. Okay, any other questions? Hello? No questions?
Manaskara is the same as Vitaka?
We haven't come to the Manaskara, you're asking very far away. No, so certainly Manaskara is no Vitaka. It's different. Okay.
But it seems like there's some similarity.
No. That's why sometimes you have to learn the definition more clearly, and then it takes time for you to like investigate, like just like people who has never drink. Let me think. Say that if the person have never drink watermelon juice, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and I tell you that there's a watermelons there because you never know what is watermelon. You drink, you just say sweet, and it's sweet like, let's say the honeydew, or sweet like what, but you don't know it's a watermelon, like, but it's different, okay, like that. Okay. Or even the sweet also, different type of sweet. It can be sugar, it can be marble leaf, maple syrup, yeah, and other, I don't know what other, honeybee, honey, okay. Okay,
I'm sorry.
yes.
But you are saying that volition is different from volitional formations, right? So whenever there is contact, there is volition.
Yeah.
But there is not necessarily volitional formations. That's what you.
Well, in Abhidharma, the word the volitional formation, the volitional formation. I mean, the formation actually, the word formation means create, right? So then you have to understand that of course that's very, very complicated. You can write a thesis on that. So the volitional formation is also, you have to understand, it means that something being created by volition, right?
Action.
I don't get the question.
I mean,
Yeah, but I do myself have question actually. Yes, yeah, listen. Yes.
is volition the same as volitional formations?
No, maybe to say volition can be volition is included in the formation.
Yeah.
But it's just only you have to, that's the different opinions on to understand whether the formation is being formed because of formation, by volition. Okay, the formation is by volition. Or in Abhidharma way of saying it consists of volition.
So when you say whenever there is contact, there is volition or there is volitional formations?
No, because
I think
the contact itself is a formation, right? No, because of contact, there's a volitional formation. We never have this statement, I guess. Where do you find this statement?
Okay, I got confused.
Yeah, okay, right. So, all right. So that's good. No, we don't have that statement. Okay, all right, good. Right, and then we must also know that it has been differentiated into three after the three sensations, right? So that means when there's a contact, it is differentiated into three after the three sensations. That means in accordance with the pleasurable sensation, sukha vedaniya, happy, and unpleasurable sensation, and neither pleasurable or neutral sensation. Okay, understand that? So why maybe it's easier to say there are people like this when they meditate, they might be not able to know the volition, but they might be they say, oh, I can observe my body in this part. I have the pleasurable sensation. How do you have this pleasurable sensation? It's because of contact there. Okay.
Is that
right?
Vedana?
Yeah, the Vedana. But here the contact is no Vedana, it's spasha, it's contact, tangible, right? So, but then whenever you talk about the spasha, I mean the contact, it always has the English word he uses. It is differentiated into three types of sensation. Okay. Hello. Understand that, right? So that's why there are people misunderstand when they do the observation meditation or the vipassana or insight meditation. When they have a displeasure sensation, they think I'm not a good meditator. Then they start to have the wrong view, right? Prabhanja. So actually, they have to know this is contact. Because of contact, they must be have the three type of the pleasurable, displeasurable, and neutral sensation. Okay.
Because the different parts of the body can have different feeling, different feeling, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You can have pleasure, some part,
Unpleasurable or neutral.
but it always seems like the legs have a lot of.
No. That's the same thing. The leg is the same thing.
Right.
You cannot say that the Buddha sit there. If you ask the Buddha sit for 100 years, say that the Buddha sit on the tree 100 years, not arise. You cannot say when the Buddha finishes meditation, he only have the pleasurable sensation. If you say that, we know that you are definitely not right understanding Dharma. The Buddha will have probably neutral, but probably pleasure and probably pain sensation. Okay. You cannot say not human being. The Buddha is so therefore that's why. So that's why the Buddha say he's either human or not human. So I don't know how to say
In the
that.
process of becoming.
So you understand now? So there are lots of people who have a way of thinking, oh, the Buddha always have the pleasure sensation. No. So, okay. The volition is important. The Buddha always have non-defined volition. Okay? Understand? But the Buddha still have the contact, and the contact can be pleasurable, unpleasurable, and what do you call that one? Neutral. Okay. Yeah. Mm.
In terms of the volition, Buddha's volition, how it's not defined, is that only in the Sarvastivadana school?
No, all schools say the same. Yeah. Mm. 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 Okay. So now, beside these two, and then try to check three now. The third one. The third one called a predilation. What is meant by predilation? Predilation is the liking for an undertaking. Okay. So mean liking in doing what they are doing. Okay. It occurs with vigor, mean like energy, arising from the thought, I shall make such and such an undertaking. That means I shall do this kind of thing. Okay. So that's meant by the predilection. Okay. Like say when the people meditate, the moment why they can still keep on observing that because they must have this predilation there. Otherwise they will stop doing it. They want to listen other. And they want to hear that, they also stop doing it and then they will jump and here and there. So in other words, I mean whenever there's attention there, basically you attending something, but you can keep on attending or but you don't keep on attending. But the moment when you're attending, there should be have the predilation. Okay.
But here's definitely like or dislike, is it? Is there any element of that? Because
No, he didn't say dislike or like.
no, the word liking here is very confusing.
No.
Because predilection means I choose to do something.
No, actually, you could say wish to do. What's mean by predilation? Mean you wish to do the work you're undertaking. Okay. The thing you're undertaking. Okay.
I would like to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's not something future tense, but it's still in the present participle. Okay. It's not in the future tense, but it's a continuous tense, a present continuous tense, I would say. Okay. Now, of course, this is just, but it's very important. Don't think this is because that's the reason why people get confusion because they don't know the basic definition. Well, only when you know the basic definition, in the future you might come across a different definition. You can know, oh, this is interesting. Here defined differently. Why? Why do you want to define differently? There must have a reason. Okay. So that's why. That's how you have a foundation of study. Okay. Now, yes.
Predilection can be good or bad, right?
No, I didn't say that.
It's definitely good.
No, I didn't say good or bad. There's no need to say good or bad. Yeah.
So it could be wholesome or unwholesome.
But that will be discussed and later on in different Abhidharma they argue about should they be wholesome and unwholesome. But here, Skandila, no, there's no definition by Skandila.
No definition means
It's not a subject. No, it's not a subject to discuss. Yeah.
It's a word with vigor, just mean that stronger will or weaker will.
No, I think this is like this. You basically I don't understand this now. When you talk about this word chanda, okay, in the predilation, of course you still can write a big paper too on that. Just like the feelings. You can write big paper. But here the chanta, very simple skandina, just when you learn something first, you learn like a simple version. Here, it had nothing to do with good or bad. It just means you're undertaking a job. That's mean.
Just undertaking a job.
Yeah, just mean
Like, I want to meditate. I just can't say.
yeah, just undertaking a
Whether
job.
I want to or not, whether it's pleasure or good or bad or not, I just.
It's not because pleasurable and unpleasurable or the neutral feelings is where in the contact. Okay. Hello.
Because in English, predilection means it's something good that you want to do, something you like to do. You do the
Exactly.
predilect.
It has to
But
do.
Is that the right translation then?
No. It's I cannot argue with the translation because translation is always translation.
Even though I don't, sometimes you don't feel like sitting, I say I'm going to meditate, regardless of what my feelings are.
No, I think maybe more important to understand this way. He just wanted to say that, when someone, the moment that you're aware of thing, these things should be there.
Oh, okay.
Volition should be
Chanta
there,
is there.
the context should be there,
Okay, and chanta
right?
is there.
Okay.
All right.
The predilection, the chanta should be there.
Okay.
The willingness should be there,
That way,
basically, yeah.
I think.
Okay.
You see it in that context.
Maybe it may be easier to explain that way. Okay.
But these are called sometimes universal? Could that be-
No, but actually predilection, if you take that as a single subject to talk about, then people will say whether the predilection can be good or bad. Because predilection is equivalent to the tanha, the
Right,
craving,
it could produce
and
also
so on.
another-
But that's another single subject. Okay, all right. The same thing as like samadhi now. Some people here have some concept about samadhi now. Then you start to talk about this samadhi and that samadhi, then it's very big subject to talk. But now later we come to then we just only talk samadhi means when your mind is in there is samadhi. Okay. Okay. Or when in a continuous stable way it's called samadhi. Okay. All right, now look at the number 4, even this is a big subject. If you want to write a paper, even more than this predilection, okay? So, what is meant by manasikara, the mental application? But here, I just want to say is that alert the thought. It directs the thought towards an object. It's called manasikara, okay? Now, this is actually, as I say, is a big subject. In different anyway, meditation a different explanation, but normally they will not go too far away from here. I mean, like really like too far away. What else? It is also holding in thought, okay, of an object which has earlier been experienced. There are 3 kinds of mental application. There are 3 kinds. One is belong to trainee, and the non-trainee, and there's neither a trainee nor a trainee. That means Arahant and Buddha. Okay? The outflow-free mental application in the 7 trainees are named mental application of trainee. The outflow-free mental application in an Arahant is named the mental application of non-trainee. The mental application with outflow application neither is named mental application neither or a trainee nor a non-trainee. Okay. Any other questions?
What is retraining?
有学啊。
有学无学。
Yeah, those are the basic Buddhist the Buddhist teachings. Okay, you know what is meant by 20? Hello?
A monk? Somebody who's in training?
Like a practitioner?
Yeah. Practitioner or monk or someone else.
I have to know that.
Yeah, actually it means the trainee means that anyone who are not before they become Buddha and Arahant are called the trainee. But then they are also not the normal people. They are beyond the normal people. So in other words, mean someone who are about to become a Sotapanna, yeah, before stream entry, and the stream entry up to before Arahant, so there are 7, right? So they call trainee. Because they still have to learn. This learn here is a very advanced learning, okay? They still have something to learn. But only Arahant and the Buddha has no more to learn. That's why I call non-trainee, okay? But the last one, the neither trainee nor not trainee, refer to these normal people. So, or and not only normal, but included partly for the trainee too. So that's why it said here refer to the outflow. 你还是有漏. That means we're going to learn what is outflow later. So that you still have that's kind of defilements. Yeah, astrava. Yeah. Okay. So you still have this outflow. I mean astrava. Okay. So that means neither what what's no, not trainee. Okay. No. So in other words, but I think maybe more important. It just say that when you talk about the manasikara, when you refer to the mental application, there are 3 types of it. Okay. But when you meditate, I don't think you need to learn that. But meditate, what mean by the mental application? It means when you alert, which is how to say, you can keep your mind on that object. Okay. You can direct your mind on that object. It's called manasikara, mental application. Okay, maybe that's very hard for you to understand. I usually explain in a simple language. The mental application is more like, hello, any question again? No. If there's the mental application, I usually refer more like, it's very similar to that. Like just now. And I try to use my mind to think the object, and then be disturbed, right? The noises are there. What I have to do?
Direct it.
No, I hear it, but I didn't hear what they said. If I direct in my mind there, that direct is almost like, if I would care about what they were talking, I would just keep on, but I knew it's not because I'm giving a talk now. Hello, again, what are you? So many small action always going on there. If you have problem, ask me, okay, please. Now, if you let me what I want to say again. Come on, if you want to know the Chinese, let me tell you how. So, you're looking at the page, say the mental application is on page 82, right? It's 4.5.4. Did you see the paragraph, right? Now, if you want to look at the Chinese and the Tibetan, and then look at the 4.5.4, so
Page 82.
then you look at page 220, 220. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then they also write 4.5.4, right? Yeah. There's a Chinese one here. But you are lucky already. They have do this, what is that? They put this comma and or full stop for you. In old day, there's no comma and full stop. You don't know where you should separate it. That's why there are so many awful translations even in the past. Because now, luckily there were some versions that we can compare and do, and check what is the really. Otherwise, you can completely make a different sense of it. All right, now back here now. So back to my mental application. Okay, if you want to check, you check it on there. Okay. So now the mental application. Say that I hear some sound, but then I still wanted to keep on thinking what I was trying to say. Right. What I have to say, I need to direct my mind and quite forcefully try my mind to keep on in that kind of stage, direct, not to go there, but like force myself to think, right? That's almost something similar to that, called a mental application. Normally we have less training of that. We have more training of the ears, like you hear the sound, you want to hear more. You really, but there's disturb a lot. Eyes disturb you, but your feeling disturb, but you still want to hear,
But isn't that vichara, like sustained thought?
No.
What's the difference?
Vichara is just know the object.
Oh, okay, vitaka then.
I'm almost like kind of using a force to push myself just to hear. I don't want to do anything, not smell, not taste, nothing, but just hearing. But the mental application, of course, yeah. No,
I thought you said it's different.
so yeah, but the mental application, mental application is that you almost kind of force yourself. That's why I call manasikaro. Okay, manas is a mind, right? Karo, manasikaro. That the definition. I forgot the whole definition in Sanskrit. But generally means that you are using your mind. Jealousy, something like that. You are using your mind to apply your mind to work on it. It's almost like, that's why I say. It's in the modern language kind of like, I force myself to hear, I force myself to see, but don't want to hear, don't do anything. But this is more like, of course, in the mental, I force myself to think that way, but not other else.
So this is a more general term for that whole mind, working with the mind every day, whereas Vitakka Vichara is more into the experience, into the meditation.
No,
specific.
no. We're going to with each other, we can ask that, okay? So let's just get it is. But of course, this is all mental, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't forget, okay? The formation all mental, don't forget that, okay? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So kind of like I force my mind to push my mind to do that way, to think. That called the manasikara, mental application, okay? Okay. So when you're very good in meditation in the future, then you will be able to know that I'm not going to look at this dharma, like the worst dharma come up, or maybe like, I'm thinking something beautiful, that I can see it arise my attachment. So, and then I force my mind, either I direct my mind to something else, to look at the impureness rather than the pure thing. That means the beautiful thing, but the not beautiful thing. But I also can just force my mind to look at this unbeautiful thing, and then to understand. Then of course, then the sanya have to be there. Anyway, that's more complicated. Then you have to apply a good sanya, I mean the perception that this is impure. It shouldn't be pure. So you counter it with the object. Okay. But what makes you this is called the manasikara. But yoniso manasikara means you are forcing your mind, okay, to only observing what the object is there, really is there, called the ruli zhuoyi in Chinese, called you apply the mental application as the way it is. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let's say I hear, and I don't go away because I smell something nice and then I change my mind. I don't. I still hear because that's what I'm doing. I'm hearing. Okay. Okay.
But here it says very specific. It's about the mental applications of a trainees, right? So 3 types. So it's very specific, I think.
No, and then the third one. What about the third one? The third one is the one with the like a normal people.
Yeah. Neither
Yeah.
trainer
Yeah.
nor non-trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it applies to trainees.
Mm.
and non-trainers.
Okay, we are time's up. Actually, I didn't know. So I will answer your manasikara. Okay.
Okay.
So later, after 2 weeks.
We have 2 weeks. Next.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks. Don't have a break. But I mean, I would ask you firstly have a little contrast the 2 draft. So in other words, mean like a manasikara, like you always want to talk about Vitakka Vichara. That's what you're very interested about that. The Vitakka Vichara, if you look at the 7-5 Dharma, it belongs to Anidya Dharma, means undetermined Dharma.
Where are you looking at?
You look at page D, another paper, page D, right?
Page D.
Yeah. According to the Sarvastivada, in general understanding, the school lists out,
Oh, here it is.
there's a Aniyata Mahabhumika, means they are indeterminate. So in other words, mean because they either they are there, either they are not there. Okay, then we will say that in the future. But they are included 8 of them. But Skandina scheme doesn't have talk about that, so we might just discuss this, not our priority. Okay. But what I want to say, and you compare the chart again, the page B, right? We said that already. There are 10 of the mental association, mental concomitant there. There are 10, right? But here, you look at the Skandina's list. There's nothing mentioned about so-called the Great Earth. Okay, why they call it the Great Earth? Because it means whenever you have the mind arises, these 10 must be there. Okay. Okay. But Scandina did mention about this. Okay. But anyway, we're going to talk that later because you will see why. It doesn't mean that he disagreed. It doesn't mean that, you know. But according to Saraswativada later on, but I mean, this is important when you study anything, subject, you know. I don't think that that's a good way to study subject because you believe there must be 10. And then you will get your mind, your heart broken afterward. And oh, there's no 10 here. It's only 2. And you look at this, what is it, other school, and then there might be different also, actually. 8, and the list is different, then you get heartbroken, okay? And then you give up with the Dharma, and then you think this is, you know, it's not the way to study Dharma, okay? So later you will know why, but when you study them more, it's not. Because ultimately, actually, they have a different system to teach you how you should meditate and then get rid of those problems, okay? But you can know that according to your understanding or the tradition teach you, every time you know there are 10, there are 22, there are 15, sometimes there are 36, but you know, sometimes you just know 1, so. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. But when you study, even in same school like Saraswativada, according to the Sankira scheme, he didn't mention this is belong to the Mahabhumika, okay? But anyway, if work for you, have a list, go back, you have 2 weeks rest, and then if you have time, read through it at least. The last few pages is very difficult, but please read through this second paper here, the 41 conjoined, okay? But for the detail, you can read with the book, okay? But if you don't want to just know the detail, just read through at least for this. As some idea, even though you don't understand. Otherwise, you don't know what you are sitting here, okay? And you have questions, please, you're welcome to write to the questions, okay? So because in the future, I hope that your question will be helpful. I'm sure your question will be many other people's question too, right? It might not be my question, but you know, since you study this anew, so yeah, please ask, yeah. Okay, and you can, with this, you'll find that it will be helpful for your meditation, I guess. At least now, one thing, when you have the contact, you must have the 3 feelings. Don't feel bad with whatever you have, any kind of feelings. You know this is just contact. Okay, all right. So, all right, you do transfer marriage, yeah.
曰自上课功德，不惧一切，我等与众生皆共成佛道。
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so thank you. Thanks for coming.
One bottle, teacher.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah. Wow, it's very hot. Next time we must have cool water. It's like cool water.